So I feel like my job is to heal out loud and be so much myself that every woman who encounters Girl Just Heal feels that she has no other choice but to heal and grow and evolve into the best version of herself, because that's exactly what she's surrounded by the moment she enters this space. What's poppin', homegirls? Welcome back to the Girl Just Heal podcast. I'm Neimoya, Basden, and Chad, listen, y'all. We got a good episode today. I got my homegirl, Mrs. Veronica, in the building. I'm going to let her introduce herself in just a moment. But how are y'all feeling? How are y'all healing? How have y'all been doing? Y'all already know. Drop me a comment. Let me know all of the things. Leave me a review. Let me know all of the things. Y'all know your girl want to know how you've been doing. So without further ado, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get into it. And I'm just going to let Mrs. Veronica introduce herself, y'all. Hey, Veronica.
Hey, girl. Hey.
So I am super excited to have you on the podcast. And I just want you to just introduce yourself to the homegirls and just let them know who you are, what you do, what you about, all of that good stuff. Just let them know what you want them to know about you.
Yes. Hey, homegirls. My name is Veronica Davis. I am an entrepreneur. I work full time, and I'm just a woman after God's own heart.
Yes.
I have been baking for several years. I am in the crafting business as well. And this is a new venture of me going out, speaking my story, letting you know what I've been through, because I know that there is purpose in my pain. So I'm just here to share my story, and hopefully that it blesses you all.
Yes, y'all, look, y'all, she says she bake, baby, she do craft, she's an entrepreneur, she's a wife, baby,
Yes.
she work full time. Y'all,
Yes.
she is a jack or a Jill of all trades.
Yes.
She do everything, and I think that is even so, and this ain't what the episode about, but I just want to say, I think that to be a woman and to be doing all of these things, like sometimes people look over that because like we really be juggling stuff out here in these streets.
A lot.
We do. And sometimes, y'all, I may be a little biased, but I feel like women don't get enough credit for everything that they do. So
that's true.
Y'all, kudos to Veronica because she is doing it all. Because I know for me, when I was working in the corporate world, it was hard trying to be an entrepreneur. It was so hard. And I'm like, it was a lot of sleepless nights.
Yes.
It was just a lot of just craziness going on. But kudos to you for doing that. And man, I'm telling you got it going on. So we gonna go ahead and
Glory
get into
God.
it. So we about to start with, y'all already know, homegirls. It is time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. It is time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. Eight prayer cards. Prayer cards. Eight. Okay, yes. See, I love it, y'all. She is here. She matching my fly. I love it. So we are going to do the prayer card, and y'all already know I'm going to let our guests choose the card, and then we going to just dissect it, and then we going to get into the meat of this episode. So you can just choose from wherever.
All right.
Just choose a card. She got one, y'all. She got one. Okay, so let's see.
Yeah.
Our scripture today comes from Colossians chapter 2, verse 7. And it says, let your roots grow down into him and let your lives be built in him. Woo, look, hold up. Y'all know we go to another version of it. But let your roots grow down in him and let your lives be built on him.
My God.
We're going to go to another version, but did you want to add anything right now?
Oh my God. That's just loaded in itself.
Yes, it is.
Ooh-wee.
Yes, it is. That is.
Because I'm nothing without him.
Come on.
Nothing without him.
Come on. Nothing. I can't do anything. And I just was telling somebody last night, I was talking to them and I had like a small inconvenience that happens. And I was like, I just feel like every time something frustrates me or angers me or inconveniences me, God does, like, it's a blessing attached to that. And that just lets me know that even when you don't feel like things going good, you can be angry, you can be upset, you can be frustrated.
Everything.
God still, as long as you rooted in him, He's still gonna have your back. He's still gonna come through for you, even when you don't expect it. So,
don't
y'all,
he say he'll make all things work for your good?
Come on.
Yes, he will.
Come on, all things. So we gonna go to the New Living Translation version. And it says, let your roots grow down into him and let your lives be built on him. Mm-hmm. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth you were taught. My goodness. And you will overflow with thankfulness. Oh, look. They said, then this is what they added to it, y'all. This is why I tell y'all, I like going to different versions because they add a lot more.
Yes.
It says, then your faith will grow strong in the truth. Y'all, what we talk? So y'all don't know what we talking about today. We talking about faith today, y'all. We talking about. Won't he do it? And look, let me tell you. It says, hold up. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth you were taught, and you will overflow with thankfulness. Just as long as you stay rooted. I know for me going to church, I always hear people say, stay rooted in the word.
Yes.
Stay rooted in God. And I'm like, as long as you stay rooted in him, it's no good thing he going to withhold from you.
Not at all.
No good thing he going to withhold from you. So did you want to add anything else for our scripture?
He is the anchor. No, everything you said was just, oh my goodness, that is it. He is our anchor.
Yes.
Once we anchor him, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Nothing else matters.
Woo, Chad, look, y'all know these prayer cards.
Yes.
Send me over the edge, y'all. It does something to me. And it was so, I feel like every time we do a prayer card, like it meets the episode, like whatever it is, I don't care. I could be and I just randomly go pull the prayer cards because and then God just shows up. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and slide into the episode, y'all. And today, for our topic, we are going to be talking about the evidence of things not seen, based around all things faith. So I know even for me, this has been coming up a lot about things that I've been through in my life, things that I'm currently in my life, where having faith in God and keeping that faith, nurturing that faith in God gets hard. It gets very hard to do. And the evidence of things not seen, I titled this episode that because sometimes we can get discouraged because we praying for stuff and it's like God ain't listening to us. Like, God, I'm calling you.
You ain't picking up the phone.
You ain't picking up the phone. But I'm calling you and like you are not answering. And so in those moments where like we are waiting on God to do things, like how do you handle waiting on God to do something when you can't even see how he about to do it?
Ooh, Lord, that's a loaded question. But that is so good because every day, and I'm walking in that season right now.
My goodness.
I am literally walking in that season right now with praying to God to bless me with a child.
Ooh.
And it's like I will eat whatever, vitamins, whatever, take whatever. And I'm praying, Lord, just bless my seed. And year after year after year after year, I don't see the evidence. But I hold on to his promises. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going. I know that it is his time because he see all things. Come on. So I may not be aware of what's going to happen because he could bless me right now. And then now I may not be here to tell this story. So he knows what's going on with my body. So he's protecting me. So I look at the thing when I don't see it, I look at it as God is protecting me. And I stand on that. And when it get hard, because I cry to him. Let's just be honest, homegirls. We gonna cry it out. We gonna be like, God, please, what are you doing? I can't see it. I talk to my father like that. I get a pillow, I lay down, and I cry. I cry it out because I don't understand. Because I want it naturally in our natural sense, in our flesh. We want it now. We want it now. That's just, I want it now. So it's so hard to be in that waiting season. Once I cried out, when I say his sweet whispers, it just sends chills through my body that he lets me know, I got you.
Come on.
Don't worry.
Come on.
In due time.
Come on. That is so good.
And you going to rejoice. And you going to tell the world, what I'm doing now for you is because I know you strong enough to get through it. That you going to give the evidence to somebody else. That I'm working through you. That is only God. Doctors can say whatever they say. Everybody can say whatever they say. But when God gets the glory, that's it. You better. That's what it is.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. Done deal.
Listen to me. I'm over here about to go to church, y'all. She done came. Look, let me just say, baby, she done came and just dropped. It's like a mic drop. And I'm not even playing. And she brought up something that's so, and I should have gave a trigger warning because some of the things that we discuss in this episode, it may bring up things for you. So here's the trigger warning. But she brought up something that was so important. She said she's currently waiting for a child. Yes. I'm in that season of my life too. And it's been hard, especially when, here's the thing for me, when you know your body capable of doing something, but it's like now when it's right. That's my story. I got pregnant before, way back, by somebody else's, but for me it was by somebody else's husband, by somebody else's man. I got pregnant before, it wasn't right. And now I'm like, because I'm over that now and I have my husband, I've changed my life. I'm not that person no more. It's like, dang, why, like now when it's right, God, when it's right, like why isn't it happening? And so that makes me question a lot and like, man, like what's really going on? So for you to bring that up, that was so, I'm talking about that hit me because I'm like, I have been waiting and you question God. And I know that's something we're not supposed to do. You ain't supposed to question God. It happens.
Yes.
And I can't sit here and say, oh, I don't never question God. Right. I question God. Like, Lord, why? What's wrong with me? Why can't I do it? Why can't I know my body was capable of doing it, but what's wrong with my body now? And somebody told me, like, it's God's time. And like you said, and that's the message I've been getting from like everybody in my life who, like, if I go vent to them about this, they like, but it's God's time. And like, you have to wait. But what happens when God's timing, like you like, Lord, I'm just tired of waiting. Like, I'm just tired of waiting. I don't want to wait. Like, it's like, it's my seed. I want my seed to be fertilized now. Like, and I want to produce now. So just wait. And I know that we are not the only ones that struggle with this. It's a lot of ladies that have come forth, even more so now, who are dealing with like fertility issues and not being able to produce. And for me, one of the things that I felt inadequate as a woman because I said, I can't even do the one thing that God created me to do, produce. I felt inadequate and I had to change my mindset. And talking to my husband helped me a lot because he was like, look, he's just always just that pillar. Like, he just so supportive. He's always an encouragement. He's like, God ain't forgot about us. Baby, I know, and I hear what you're saying, but sometimes in my quiet time, it's hard. And it's hard to keep that faith in God, the evidence of things not seen. When I can't see it, I don't know when God gonna bless me. We don't know when God gonna bless us with kids, but we know that God gonna come through. But even in that waiting for God to come through, like, what are some things that you do when you get in your alone time and then it gets so hard and you feel yourself even starting not to trust in God just a little bit because, Lord, it's been too long? Like, what are some things that you do in that instance?
I journal. I journal a lot. So I get this journal and it's called Dear Baby.
Oh my goodness.
It's called Dear Baby.
I got to get one of them.
And when I get to my lowest where I feel like it's not happening, I don't see it, I write letters to my baby.
Oh my goodness. Whew. Chad, look, I'm trying not to get emotional.
I said I wasn't even. I write letters to my baby.
Wow.
Dear baby, I talk about everything to him and her.
Oh my goodness.
Everything.
Whew.
And I say to him or her.
Yeah.
Literally just write it all out.
Yeah.
And I pray over it.
Yeah.
Because I have to tell myself in that moment of worship, God, I know it's going to come to pass.
Yeah.
Nothing you said is void.
Come on.
Nothing. You said this to me.
Yeah.
You promised this to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stand in your promise.
Yes.
And I'm going to write these letters with tears rolling because it gets hard.
Yeah.
It gets hard.
My goodness.
Because my story is similar to yours. I know it's possible. Even before. Like in my whole entire life. It started when I was in high school with irregular cycles.
Yeah.
And my mother took me to the doctor. Lord, my mama thought I was pregnant. And when the cycle started coming, my mama thought I was was pregnant. Took me to the doctor. And with the doctor, they was talking about all these different things and, you know, it's common and, you know, all of these. So that's how I knew. And once further along in life, once I was diagnosed with PCOS and I just hit the brakes of, oh, this not going to happen.
My goodness.
And then when I say the situation leading up to it, when I really got into that relationship with God, it seemed like every preacher, minister I never met in my life will always touch my stomach.
Yeah.
And I would feel like this burning in my stomach.
Oh my goodness.
And instantly I got, when I say I got pregnant the first time, wrong. No medicine, no nothing.
Yeah.
Like it was just snap. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, God.
Yeah.
And then I lost that miscarriage. Then later on, we was like, we gonna do it right.
Yeah.
We gonna do it right.
Yeah.
Still. And at that moment of that one, now that one really was the determined factor of my really testing my faith.
Yeah.
That was the real, because I asked God, why take me this far?
My good, come on.
Why
sis.
take me this far?
Come on.
I mean, I got strollers.
Yeah.
We couldn't wait on no baby shower.
Yeah.
I had strollers,
Oh my.
baskinets, everything, filling them, everything.
My
And
God.
the first time I went to the hospital and I bled, and they said it was normal. Everything was fine. Went home. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Went to the hospital again. Now that time I just knew ain't nothing was wrong with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. I'm
Right.
You know, they say this normal, but I'm gonna go just
Yeah,
to make sure. And the doctor came in and she looked at me. She said, "You losing your son."
Oh my God.
She said, "We gonna do everything we can, but you're losing your son." And in that moment, I felt like I was losing my faith.
Yeah.
Because everything in me was just, why bring me this far?
Yeah.
Why bring me this far to take it away from me?
God.
And just like you mentioned before, to piggyback off of that, what you said, to feel inadequate as a woman, at that moment, I felt I was so unworthy.
Yeah.
So you telling me the promises that you gave me of a woman, and it's this
my
hard.
God, come on.
And that built so much as far as with low self-esteem.
Yeah.
And it was just a cycle, an endless cycle, a dark cycle of depression, anxiety increased, everything, because I couldn't see my worth. My worth was attached to being able to have a child. But until I detached my worth from that,
My geez. Come on.
until I detached my worth from that,
Come on.
that's when I'm living in a different
Come
truth.
on.
Because my worth was attached to things. And I had to be a mother.
Yeah.
I had to have a career. I had to get an education. I had to have a good job. My worth was attached to, I got to have a nice house, a nice car, and all that.
Yeah.
All of that was my worth. God don't
My
care
God.
about none
My
of that.
God, come on.
None of
Come
that.
on. Come on.
And once you detach yourself from that, homegirls, detach yourself from those things that makes you feel worthy, because it does not. It has nothing to do with it. And until I did that, that's when I can walk. It still get hard.
Yeah. Oh,
it
definitely.
still get hard.
Yeah.
But that's when I can walk in it a little bit more. I can say, okay,
Yeah.
I got this.
Yes.
And then I got this.
Yeah. That's so good, because look, that detaching yourself, that was a word for me. That hit me. That's so good, because we don't realize, until you just brought that up, I didn't realize how much I attached myself to things. I attached myself to labels. I attached myself to what other people done said. I've attached myself to all of these things that really are irrelevant, because who do God say you are? What does God say about you? That's a lot of us, we don't look at ourselves through that lens, because it's easier to look at what society's saying. We in the comments, we want to go back and forth with people because what they saying, but it's like, what is God telling you to do? What is God saying about you? God is saying, I got you in due time if you just keep going, if you stay the course. But then somebody else look at us and say, girl, you over 30, you ain't got no kids yet. And then now we go, because we didn't attach ourselves to what they said. But God is like, I blessed Sarah when she was almost 100. Or was she 100? Her and her husband, baby, they was in triple digits.
What?
Triple digits.
You better say it.
And God said, God bless this woman. So he's like, you worried about somebody telling you that you over 30? And that's something that I struggle with. I just turned 30 last month. But that's something I struggle with, because I'm like, when I used to think about my life, I'm like, man, by 30, like I want to have a couple kids already. You know, I wanted my life to be this way. But now that I see, hey, my life ain't that way, it get hard because I'm like, okay, God, like, you know, clock ticking a little bit. I'm 30 now. And it's just like, but God is like, I got you.
Yes.
Age ain't nothing but a number to God. But sometimes we fall into that. We fall into not even just with children, with anything, with relationships, with you having your degrees, with you being in a career, with you being an entrepreneur, you following after your heart. We need to quit listening to society and listening to other people and attaching ourselves to what they say. And start attaching ourselves to what God says. The scripture today in the prayer card say root in him. Don't root in the comments on social media, y'all. Homegirls, listen. Don't root in what people say negative. Don't root in what, if you got people in your life, friends, family member, and they are not encouraging you and pouring into you, you need to surround yourself with people who pour into you and encourage you.
Yes.
When you have those low moments, those very low moments, like you have to attach yourself to those people. So what you said about detach, baby, detach. She said detach from those things. What loose. People say about you, break loose. Come on. What people say about you, detach from that.
Yes.
What society painted, the picture they painted, you by the time you 30, you need to have a white picket fence. You should be married. Baby, you probably 36 watching this, ain't married. Detach from that.
Yes.
Because in due time, if you stay rooted in God and you keep your faith in him, we talking about faith, the evidence of things not seen. You can't see it. You 36, you not married, you ain't got no kids, and you waiting on God. You can't see it. But that's where your faith come in. And y'all, I just saw her shirt. I didn't even see her shirt when she first walked in. Her shirt says faith, forwarding all issues to heaven.
Yes.
Come on. Yes. And you made the shirt.
Yes.
Baby, look.
Yes.
Y'all better get with Veronica, get you one. I'm going to need one.
I got you, sis.
Forwarding all issues to heaven. Come on. Y'all, I didn't even realize her shirt. I'm like, hold up. I just looked at that shirt. But yes, like I was saying though, she said detach from those things. And a lot of times it do be hard for people to detach, even like with us being in that vein. Cause I know for me, it was really hard, like during my life, to detach from things. I'm from a small town. You already know. Like, so it's like when you go through things and you from this small town, it's like everybody know everything. And so for me, it was hard for me to detach from that because my situation was just so unique, and it was just so like, my situation was just, that was a crazy time for me. I'm 18 years old, thinking I'm grown, doing what I want to do. So that I feel like I was just starting to live. I was out of high school. I was an adult. I was living on my own. So that has been attached to me. And I broke free from it like a couple years back. But even from 18 on until like my early to mid 20s, I was still attached to what was being said about me. And it kind of held me back and like made me feel a little bit like insecure and like I ain't have a lot of confidence because I was more worried about what other people were saying when God was telling me like, I got you.
Yes.
Like you came to me, you repented. You talk to me.
He make all things new.
All things new.
Yes.
But sometimes, like I know for me, when I was going through and people at church was telling me that, like, God, like you a new creature, and God, you've repented, you've asked for forgiveness, you've done all these things, but it was still something in me that was like, but now, like these people saying this or somebody saying this, and I was attached to that, and that left me so stagnant. So that's an important piece, and I want you to even like just go a little deeper into that as far as like detaching from things. Like, how do people do that? How do they detach from things if society is telling them something? Maybe they got toxic friends or family members that's telling them something and speaking something over them. How do they detach from that?
Every situation is so unique. So with friends or family, honestly, it's as simple as walking away. It's we make it so complicated, but it's sometimes just as simple as you're not serving the God in me.
Oh my.
So I have to walk away from you, because all you doing is bringing negativity to me. All you doing is making me feel bad about my past and the things that I've done. So you no longer serve me. So I serve you. Notice that you evicted.
Come on.
So you have to do
Come
that.
on.
Friends, family.
Come on.
You have to take those moments to do that.
Yeah.
And I know it could be that best friend. It could be that cousin.
Yeah.
It could be anybody like that. But sometimes you have to take that moment. We always think about isolation as a bad thing, but sometimes God needs to isolate you just to, what is he? To mold you.
Come on.
He gotta separate you.
Come on.
To get you to that place where he can mold you. So those things no longer bring you shame, guilt, heartbreak, all of these things that's attached to it. Because I walked in that so long.
My goodness.
I walked in that because when I say homegirls, I was a hot mess. I'm just going to say it.
Y'all don't believe it, do you? That's the God on her. That's the God on her.
I was a hot mess.
My goodness.
When I say in high school, and that was because of past traumas, I allowed all of that to create an identity in me, and I started living in it. And when I say, and then as I started to get in that relationship with God, then that's when guilt. Why did I do that? Why did I allow this? Why did X, Y, and Z? And then now trying to get into something new. Oh, they gonna think, who are you?
Come on.
Why are you? Who are you to say
Come
this?
on.
Who are you to be like this? Who are you to do that? You right. Who am I? I am chosen.
Come on.
That's who I am.
Come on.
That's who I am.
Child, listen.
Because when he say he make all things new, he took all of that old stuff. And he took it away. So we have to remember that I'm not my past mistakes. I'm not the issues or the things that I dealt with. I'm not. I was wild. I was crazy. I did this. But guess what? That's not me anymore. That was just an identity that I took over because of my hurt. So technically, it really was a false identity. It was never really you. So anything that you're doing now, it's not really you. That's just something that your past issues and things is making you feel. Because that's not who God created you to be. So once we detach from that, cutting them loose, doing those things for yourself is necessary. It is so necessary to do. And some people may not understand, but you got to get to the place where, honestly, if it's between me and God, if God understands what I'm doing and he told me to do this, I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Come on.
This is what God needs me to do.
on.
So I have to go down this path. I may not be that no more. Hey, it's okay. I feel better. I feel better living like this than I was in the past. It was heavy. Oh, it was heavy.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Heavy. It felt like every day waking up was just a chore. It was a task to get out of bed. Just to wake up living. God. Now it's that freedom of, okay, I'm not. Okay, I may make mistakes. I may stumble. I'm going to fall. I may slip up. But guess what? God will forgive you. And he will keep on forgiving you. And guess what? Every time you make a mistake, you realize what's your triggers. What caused me to make this mistake? Now I'm realizing, even jotting it down. When I say I love the journal, I tell people write it down. Write it down. Because that's until I started to reread some of my journals, I didn't realize what was a trigger to me. What would cause me to go back to this place. And then I started reading like, I get it. I get it now. So now I'm more aware, okay, I can't go in those environments. I can't go in those, I can't go to those places because it'll trigger that 16-year-old girl in me again. It'll trigger that 22-year-old girl in me again. So I gotta make sure I know my triggers. And once you know your triggers, it's endless from that. Them
triggers something else. This has been, and I feel like since I started Girl Just Heal, I have seen and experienced more triggers than I ever had. And I'm like, but I'm doing something now to where like I'm healing and I'm helping other women heal. But I'm getting triggered by stuff that I didn't even know I was getting triggered by. And I just thank God that I'm in therapy because I can share this with my therapist. And I'm like, well, this triggers me. And she's like, well, wow, like, how long have you known this was a trigger? I'm like, child, I didn't even know. But if I'd have journaled. So y'all, homegirls, we got to get into journaling because I love that you can go back in your journal, and you can see from however long ago what's triggering you, and it's kind of like almost a blueprint letting you know, like, don't go back to this.
Yes.
You used to be here. You know how you was feeling when you was here. Don't go back to that again. So we need to, like, I really need to journal, because I feel like for me, a lot of my triggers have come up because I didn't know they was triggers.
Yeah.
And I didn't have no record of them being triggers. Like, I didn't have nothing I could go back to and say, okay, well, I know that this is triggering me in this area. So how do I get over this trigger?
Right.
Wow. That is so heavy. That is really like, let me tell you, those triggers can be a silent killer if you let them.
Really.
That's why it's good to just bring that stuff to the forefront.
Really.
And even with that, even with having these triggers, I feel like faith comes in with having triggers too, with being triggered, because it's like, Lord, I didn't know that this was a trigger for me, and I don't know how I'm going to overcome this being a trigger, because I didn't know it was going to make me feel like this. I didn't know I was going to be crying. I didn't know I was going to be thinking about revenge. Hello. I didn't know I was going to be having these crazy thoughts. So Lord, I'm in this space, but how do I get out of this space? The evidence of things not seen. I don't know how you going to bring me out of this space, God, but I know that you going to do it.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know how you going to bring me out this situation. I don't know how this working for my good. I don't know how everything I'm going through is working for my good, but it's the evidence of things not seen.
Yes.
That's how it is with faith. And I feel like a lot of, not even just me, but a lot of women collectively have dealt with that, where it gets hard because I don't see a way out. It's nothing that I can do to get out of this situation. And so when we get to those points where it's like, Lord, it's nothing that I can do. I can't say nothing. I can't buy nothing. I can't listen to nothing. Like, nobody can tell me nothing. It's out of my hands. Like, my hands are tied because it's nothing that I can do. My limited self, I can't do nothing. So I know that you got to bring me out. So in those instances where you have to rely on God, you have to depend on him to do something that you don't even see doing. Like, how do we do that, and do that where we are waiting and not murmuring? Because it's easy to complain. But how do we wait? And I know I still deal with it, okay? So homegirls, look, we've been trying to help you. But
you see me over here like, whoo, because... Child,
she like, I don't know. I still do. But you know what? I try not to complain. I ain't say I don't complain, homegirls. God's still working on me. I try not to complain, but sometimes it gets hard. And so when I'm waiting on God to show up, when I'm waiting on God to do stuff, when I know, like you said earlier, the promises that God had for me, and I'm waiting on that, sometimes it be hard when you in that waiting room. It's like just being in a normal waiting room in the hospital. If I'm sitting down too long, I'm going up to the desk like, when I'm going to get up? When I'm going to get in? And so even being in God's waiting room, I'm like that, like, okay, God, I prayed this 10 years ago. I'm waiting. How do I wait in silence? How do I wait and not complain about it? So I don't know. I'm trying, but I still complain. Yeah. So I need help. Yeah. I need help with that. Yeah. So
homegirls, I do too.
See, we need help with that.
But I think that's the blessing in who God is for us. That you supposed to bring all your burdens. Yeah. And bringing that burden of, I want to complain, God, because it hurts. That's freeing in itself.
Good. That's good.
Like, I think sometimes I used to do that so much where I felt like it was an ideal way of, just sitting in the waiting season. But I don't think it really is. I think it's okay. It's okay to sit there and, God, I'm getting tired. But you're going to him to say, I need you to give me strength. Yeah. God, I'm getting weary. I need you to give me strength. Yeah. And he's going to do that because you're bringing it to him and you asking and you positioning yourself to receive from him. Yes. And because we can't do it. You'll wake up the next day like, why am I happy like this? Like, wait a minute, I was just sad. So I think there's really no real way of being in that waiting season. Yeah. Sometimes it may make you have to go outside and go for a mile walk and you ain't walked in 10 years. Like, just, it's it's different for everybody. And I don't think there is a real way of doing it.
Wow.
I really don't.
You know what? That was so good.
Glory.
You said that in the waiting season, when you waiting, it is okay to wait and let God know, like, Lord, I'm getting a little impatient.
Yeah.
Lord, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know you didn't tell me when you was gonna come through, but it's a little longer than I expected.
Yes.
And I agree with that so much, and I feel like God honors that because God wants us to come to Him like a child, like children.
Yes.
If you have, I got nieces and nephews. If I told them I'm finna take them somewhere and I ain't moving quick enough, they gonna come and say, TT Moya, but you said we was finna go to the park.
Right.
What time we going to the park?
Yes.
I didn't give them a time, but they still expected me to do it because I said it.
Oh,
My God, because I said it. And God is like, it is okay to come to me. That blessed me. It is okay to come to me and say, God, when? It's not a problem with you coming to me and asking me that. But I told you I'm going to do it. The only thing is God is like, I didn't tell you what time. I didn't tell you what day. I didn't tell you what season of life you was going to be in. But I told you I'm going to do it. So for us coming to God, I feel like He wants us to come to Him because it's like, if He want to be on our mind and He want to know that, like, God, look, I'm thinking about you.
Yes.
So I'm coming to you and I'm just checking in a little bit. Like you said you was going to do this. I have the faith in you, even though I don't see what you said. I can't see it, but I know that you're going to do it because you said it. So even though I can't see it, God, I'm still coming to you and I'm still waiting. So I'm going to start practicing that more because I felt like when I was waiting and like just having faith in God that I needed to just hush. And it was just like, girl, don't you say nothing. Don't complain. You just keep going on, keep reading your Bible, keep praying, keep staying before God. But it's like, no, like God wants us in that vulnerable state to Him. Like He wants to be our protector. And sometimes we run away from that.
Yes.
Because I know for me, I be thinking I'm worrying Him. Like I keep on coming to you and I keep on saying stuff to you. I keep on asking you for the same stuff. But God is like, no, like I want to know that I'm on your mind. Come to me. So, that is child.
And another thing I started to do, I started to ask God, what do I need to do in my waiting season? And when
that's loaded.
I'm sitting right here to where I'm sitting at right now is what He's telling me to do in my waiting season. What?
Come on. Because look, let me tell you something. God's word is always gonna be clear, and y'all, this is big because when she ready to release,
I was not about to do this.
See, look, let it out because when I tell y'all, when she ready to release, y'all need to connect with her, and I'm not even just saying it like because with what she got coming, y'all. My good, y'all gonna understand. Y'all gonna come back to this episode, and it's all gonna make sense because God. I'm telling you, in our waiting seasons, it's like when you are waiting for something, people have an expectation of what you should be doing. But God is like, no, I'm about to come dismantle all of that, and I'm about to throw some flavor in there. So while it's hurting you and you waiting, you gotta be working. You gotta be working when you waiting. You can't sit around waiting to heal. You can't sit around waiting to get a job, waiting to get a promotion. You want a job, but you ain't putting in applications. You want healing, but you ain't doing nothing. You ain't deleting them numbers. You keeping them numbers in your phone. You ain't taking them off social media.
Homegirls, do you hear this?
Listen.
Say that again.
You still listening to the song that reminds you of him, but you want to heal from this relationship. But you still playing the music. You still sitting yourself there like, oh, this remind me of him. You want to heal from that? You have to let that song go. You have to let that number go. This is the work that you have to do while you waiting for anything. If you wait, sometimes our stuff get held up. We wasn't gonna go here, but we going. Sometimes it get held up because of what we doing while we waiting. We ain't working. God done told you to do something, and you ain't doing it. You ain't doing it because it's like, well, Lord, I don't think I can do it. I'm not qualified to do that. I don't have what it takes to do that. And y'all, look, I can say this because it was me. I ain't here to cast the first thought. I ain't here to do that. It was me.
Yes.
I was the one that was waiting, and God told me to work, and I'm just like, I don't got it together. How I'm gonna work, and I'm still here. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to come through to me. So how I'm gonna tell everybody that you good and that you faithful and that you are just and that you gonna do it for them when you still ain't even done it for me. You still ain't even done the things that I've petitioned you for. And he is like, work while you wait. Work while you wait. Get in there. I need you to get your hands dirty while you wait because you're going to appreciate it more.
That's it.
Because you working.
That's it.
While you waiting. My goodness. Listen.
And that goes a long way.
Yeah.
For people to see that.
Yeah.
To see, how can you be this happy? How can you have this much joy?
You better come on.
How can you have this much peace? You better
come on.
How?
Yeah. My goodness.
Because it's the working.
Because it's the working.
Ooh.
Because it's the working. Come on. No, come on. Don't stop. Come on. It's the working. Ooh. It's the working. That work you put in. That's what it is.
Yes.
And they ain't going to understand it. The Bible talks about how we will get an unspeakable joy. Mm-hmm. So when chaos going on in your life and people look around and they like, but hold up, like she hurting right now. She trying to heal from something. She expecting God to give her kids. He still ain't blessed her with kids. But you can see me with so much joy. And it's like, but how? But how?
Because the world wants you to be broken down.
Come on.
The world wants you to be bent over and depressed.
Come on.
That's what they want to see.
Oh, yeah.
God said, that ain't us.
Mm-mm.
That ain't us.
No.
He gave us so much. He gave us joy, peace, love, happiness.
Yes.
All of this stuff was given to us. We don't have to do nothing.
Come on.
He gave that to us. So I can be happy knowing that you gonna bless me.
Yeah.
Because when you do, he probably gonna do twins or triplets.
Come on. Come on, Lord, give me a 3-piece.
Right.
Quick. But yes, that is so divine and that's so good. And homegirls, whatever it is, whatever season of life that you are in, whatever you are waiting on, baby, I don't care if you waiting to be healed from something physically, mentally, emotionally. If you waiting on a job, you waiting on your loved one to act right, you waiting on a relationship, whatever you are waiting on, what work are you doing while you waiting? You have to do some work because you can't see how it's going to work out. That's something that's out of our control. The evidence of things not seen. I can't see it. I don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. But what I know is I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure it happens.
Yes.
So you mentioned earlier too, with you taking your vitamins and you getting your body prepared and you doing all of these things. That's the working while you waiting.
Yes.
Because I'm prepared. I'm not just sitting around like, okay, Lord, I'm waiting, but I'm not doing nothing to build me up and make sure that my health is good, to make sure that it ain't nothing that's wrong with me or nothing that I'm doing that's holding up my blessing. I wanted to just strictly be because of God's timing. It's like when they say stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
That's it.
I don't want God to catch me and now all of a sudden I get pregnant, you bless me with children, but my body can't take it because I ain't eating right, I ain't taking no vitamins, I ain't been nurturing, I ain't getting no cardio in, I'm not exercising, I'm not doing the work. So while you waiting, you got to do the work. So whatever y'all waiting on, homegirls, whatever y'all waiting for, baby, you got to put in that work. And it's going to be hard.
Very.
Because when you waiting and you work, it's like going to work in the corporate world. You working, but you don't know when they finna pay you. I'm working, but where my money at? Like I'm showing up, I'm getting up and being here 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Where my money at? It's just, but it's like that with God. The reward is gonna be so much greater working while you waiting. It's a delayed payment. Oh my goodness, it's a delayed payment that you gonna get from working while you waiting.
Ooh, and he is gonna blow your mind.
Come on.
I love that song.
Come on.
He is gonna blow your mind.
Come on. My goodness, y'all. Oh, child, look, this episode got me. Y'all, I'm a little hot. This episode has really just blessed me. So y'all, we're going to close it out. But as we're closing out, I just want you to, if you have anything else you want to add to the homegirls, tell the homegirls, add to the episode.
Well, first, homegirls, I just want to take a moment again to personally thank you. Thank you for allowing God to use you as a vessel. Because, like I say, sitting here is me working, but it's because of your work.
My goodness.
And it's because of the homegirls out there, the work that you all are doing, that's showing the goodness of God, that's showing his mercy and showing his presence. That's allowing me to see myself in a different light, to see myself as worthy, to see myself as more than enough. So I want to thank you that no matter what the situation is, no matter that place that you asking God, when is my time? This is evidence right now that's seen.
Goodness.
This is he's giving you an evidence in me right now that you can physically see that your work is working. That everything that you're doing is working. You being vulnerable, sharing your story, letting them know this ain't no cute, putting their face on it, and this is what God did some work. He had to change. He had to completely take me from A to Z.
Come on.
And by you allowing yourself and your life and your story to be out there, you just gave me confidence to say, okay, God, I can do the work of the Lord. I can show the world what it looks like to be a girl who went through miscarriages, is going through infertility. I can stand here and say, I've been a girl that has been raped, that's been molested. And I can sit here and stand here and tell you of the goodness of God, that no matter what it is, God will use all things for you. And continue to share your story. Continue to share, because it is so many, and I know I've told you this more times, that it is so many women lives that is attached to you. That's why you feel like it's turmoil coming around, because the enemy he knows where you going, and he don't want you to see where you're going. He know Neimoya finna do she finna break some generational curses. She finna break some things off these people's lives. He don't want that to happen. So if he can get in your head, if he can distract you, he will do everything in his power, from the littlest things to the biggest things. But when you know, okay, go on, move out my way, because I got bigger work to do. God is doing some new things. It's so many women and younger girls that's coming up that's going through or been through exactly some of the things, and how we connected. Y'all, that's just what God is.
Let me tell you, we didn't even. I don't want to cut you off because you was flowing, but let me just say this. I want to acknowledge what she was saying, and I just want to say thank you so much, because it does feel good when people give you your flowers. I be getting a little shy and stuff, but I do thank you, because that's confirmation for me, because when I doubt myself, and as confident as I am in Girl Just Heal, I still have those times where I doubt myself, like, God, are you sure it's me? And so just by hearing that, it's like God sent an on-time word, because I've been just dealing with a lot, and I feel like it's been so many attacks. But for God to send that word through you, so thank you for just sharing that. With that said, y'all, the way her and I connected, it's very, very divine. Very divine. I didn't know that she and I had so much in common. I had no clue. And we, even just a little backstory, and we supposed to be in this episode, but let me give y'all this. A little backstory. Like, I met her back in I think it was 2015. I had started speaking, and I was doing this little event, and she was baking. She still bakes, but she was baking. And I was like, I saw her stuff on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to get some cupcakes for my event. I just wanted to support her. She was working at a store in the town that we stayed in. And from the moment I said the first thing to her, and I think I shared this with her, I had a luncheon, and she was the recipient for one of the awards. And I shared this when I first met her. It just felt like something was right. Like, you get them people in your life that you meet, and some of them you be like, okay, you cool, I can speak to you, and then it's gone. But it was something with her that I met, and we just clicked. And so from all of those years, even now though, lately, the past couple months, God has really just connected us on a level that is just so divine, and I didn't even expect. And so she pours into me. And when I tell y'all, you need to surround yourself with people that pour into you,
Yes.
I'm talking about her. Y'all can't.
Lord.
Nah, I ain't sharing you with them. Nah, I'm just playing. But y'all, when I tell you, surround yourself with people, and it be so divine. She'll just text me and just encourage me. And I be looking at the phone sometimes crying because I'm like, nobody, like I'm not sharing what I'm feeling. And she just sent me this message. So that's why I'm like, it's so divine.
Yes.
And I'm just so thankful, y'all, with just the connection that her and I have. And if you find people in your life, like I say, when you attach to people, you'll be able to tell whether it's a yay or a nay, whether you can vibe with that person or whether it's like, we ain't gonna vibe, but it's cool. Like, I don't have a problem with you, but we not gonna vibe. But I just thank God for this. And one of the things that I've been even praying, and I ain't shared this with her, but I just been praying. I'm like, Lord, I like whatever it is that's gonna come out of this, like I'm open to it. I'm open to what's gonna come out of this. If we gonna move to it, like pass it and be friends, like I'm open to friendships.
Right. Yes.
And that was big for me. And my therapist even was like, so this person must really be like somebody that you really feel like you could be. And I said, yeah, because for me, I don't like that friend title. I really don't throw it around loosely. It's very hard because it's hard to find people who not only pour into you, but people that you can trust and people who are just genuine. And so, like, let me just tell y'all, when God does something, y'all just ride the wave of what God is doing, the evidence of things not seen.
Yes.
We're going to revisit this moment one day.
Ooh, yes.
We'll revisit this moment one day. We don't know what the future holds, but the evidence of things not seen. My goodness.
Yes.
Y'all, okay. She was supposed to be closing out the episode, y'all. But even with that said, so you added what you wanted to add to the homegirls.
Yes.
All right, so now I want you to let the homegirls know where they can find you at your socials. If you got anything that you want to share with them about, I know you don't want to spill the tea about what you got coming up, what you gonna do, but just anything you want to share, let them know where to find you so they can connect with you and all that good stuff.
You can find me on Facebook at Veronica Davis, and you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at I Am Walking Worthy. Yes. And there is so much, like Neimoya just said, there is so much that God has downloaded in me that will be released. I will no longer hold on to it. So please stay tuned, because it is something that I believe God is going to use as an instrument to build his kingdom.
Yes. Amen. Amen. And I'm going to drop her socials, y'all, in the description of this episode so y'all can find her, go connect. It's going to be easy access. Y'all can just click, connect with her. I'm telling you, like, connect with her, just support her, get to know her, get to know what she is doing. You gonna see just the things that she's doing, and when she ready to release, trust me, y'all ain't gonna want to miss the release of what she doing. We gonna have you back here on the podcast.
Yes.
In the future, y'all, we gonna bring her back. Drop a comment, y'all. Y'all let me know how y'all enjoyed this episode, because she went in, and y'all, she was nervous. We both was nervous, and y'all couldn't even tell, could y'all? Because that's just how it is. So God is so good. Yes. I appreciate you for being on the episode today. And so I have something that I do after every episode. I close out with the Girl Just Healed mantra. Okay. Now, you can repeat it if you want to repeat it, or you can just drop in and feel it. I repeat it like 3-4 times. So so the Girl Just Healed mantra is, y'all already know, homegirls, how we do. We drop in, we close our eyes if we can. Y'all know, if y'all driving or something, don't close your eyes. But y'all just try to drop in, and the Girl Just Healed mantra is, I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. Ooh, y'all know that mantra be so good. We're going to repeat it again. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. Yes. Woo. Y'all, just drop in if you can. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, this moment, this hour, this minute, I choose to heal. Ooh. Y'all, that is so good to me. So thank you, homegirl, so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. I'm Neimoya Basden with my special guest, Mrs. Veronica. And until we speak again, girl, just heal. Yes. All right, homegirl, thank you for tuning in to the Girl Just Heal podcast. We want to make sure that we continue supporting you during your healing journey, so be sure to connect with us on all social media platforms at Girl Just Heal, and also join our private Girl Just Heal Facebook community so that you can continue to heal, grow, and evolve.